The Banshees of Inisherin is out now in wider release, guys, and I managed to go out and see it, and it's good. The Banshees of Inisherin is a good film. It stars Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson. The logline reads, two lifelong friends find themselves at an impasse when one abruptly ends their relationship with alarming consequences for both of them. And I'll tell you this straight up. The acting in this is really good, both from Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson. It's the dynamic between the two, that they bounce off of each other, that really sells this film. You have to worry about the accents in this, like the Irish accents. There is some slang in there that, yeah, perhaps was a little over my head, but they kind of did a good job of marshalling that in by having context to what they were talking about, right? Because some of the slang was a little above my head. Luckily, I knew what poutine was. It's, when they talk about that in the film, I knew that from like a Star Trek episode. That they were talking about booze there. But there are also some things when they're talking about their friendships and stuff like that. There's some of it there that's a little bit, well, okay. But you'll understand it anyway because of the context of the scenes that they're in. That's what I mean. When we look at the acting in this, as I said, it's phenomenal and it's beautifully shot, beautifully photographed. They used great locations. And that donkey. Oh, that donkey. We'll talk about that in a few moments. But yeah, it's just these two battling each other here, and it's phenomenal acting. I would have to say, though, the reports that Colin Farrell here is doing something great, it is great. And I read you that log line that is like these two friends don't want to be friends anymore. Mostly Brendan Gleeson doesn't want to be friends with them. And as it slowly unfolds, you learn why he doesn't want to be friends with them. And it's not as grandiose as you would think, but it's also still kind of heartbreaking, right? And as Colin Farrell's character kind of internalizes what he's actually trying to say to him, yeah, it's incredibly well done. And I hope that Colin Farrell gets a nomination for this because he goes through a full range of emotions and stuff like that. And it's just cool to see him in this environment, and them in this environment. See, look at the beautiful scenery there, with the rock formations, these walls built up, kind of thing, breathtaking. And it's got some laughs. It does have some laughs in it for sure. When he's like trying to confess and stuff like that. People in my theater were laughing. It did have its moments in there where you're just kind of like, like just how audacious it was, and that the guy who played the priest did a good job too. But Colin Farrell, yeah, he just took it to another level, and based on that alone, if you're a fan of acting, you'll want to check this movie out. If you're a fan of Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson, you want to check this out. It's definitely, for me, it's not the best film of the year, but it's definitely a must-see if you're a movie fan for sure. Let's go over to the tomato meter and see what people are saying about it. 98% by the critics for 248 reviews, and the audience score is around 78%. Now, I'm guessing maybe because it's the runtime, but let's take a look at some of the snapshot reviews. It is about an hour and 54 minutes, but it moves well, guys. It does. And yeah, the woman who played the sister there, she did a good job too. Kerry Condon, I think is her name. She did good. Really good. Okay, let's take a look at some of the snapshot reviews here from Detroit News. It's a gut punch of a comic drama that keeps finding new ways to land hard-hitting body blows, and it's easily one of the year's best films. Yeah, it's not the best film, but it's definitely up there in the top. It's going to be a contender for the top 10 films of the year, for sure. Okay, let's take a bad one here from the Washington Post. McDonagh is a master world builder. Whether you want to live in those worlds for 2 hours of your only life is purely a matter of individual taste. I don't know about that because it was beautifully shot. I liked the atmosphere that it created, and just watching these two battle back and forth, like I liked it, and I think I said that quite a bit. Oh, Dan Merle said something about this. I was delighted by every frame, a magical film. indeed. And it was from the director who did In Bruges, right? So if you liked In Bruges and you liked that teaming between the three of them, they definitely repeat their success for the Banshees of Inisherin. And I like the conclusion there. That poster is pretty much, that's really revealing. It is, for sure. And as I said, the acting in this is probably the real standout, and why I tell you to check that out. Because there is a scene in here with Colin Farrell, and if he that I would put for like his Oscar consideration. It's the scene with his donkey there, his miniature donkey. Basically, something traumatic happens, and he's there to have, he wants to be with the donkey to have some consolation, and it's just something. His reaction to what happens is just wow. Definitely one of the better acting performances of the year for sure. It's heartbreaking. And that's what I think about Banshees of Inisherin. Overall, guys, I think I would have to agree more with the critics than what the audience score is for this. The high 90s, I would have to give it at least, I'd probably give it a 9.5 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10. Yeah, for Banshees of Inisherin. It's quality, guys. It's a quality film, and I recommend that you go check it out for sure. It won't let you down. All right, that's it. That's the part that'll be cut out for the review.